Chef Maria Anderson, everybody. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I've seen all of you at least once. Thank you for coming to see the demonstration. So this is my third year here at Trinity, and I love going around to support my business, which is called Terabytes. And I go to farmers markets and I partner with organizations and food deserts to help people figure out how to eat healthier, real cheap and real easy. So what I'm going to do today is, what I like to do is do recipes. I walk around the market and see what's fresh. Well, everything's fresh. Walk around the market and taste everything. Someone asked me like, hey, you eating that okra raw? Well, yeah, how else am I supposed to know what it tastes like? So I don't want to just grab it and throw it in a salad and not know what it tastes like, because I don't want you guys to, taste something and yeah, it's good. And then you go over there and it's like, oh my God, that was so gross. So I want to make sure that, again, eating healthy doesn't have to be hard. Also, we don't always have to cook. I love salads. I don't like cooking all the time, but a salad is a really easy way for me to kind of toss whatever I have in my fridge to add some flavor to my salad. And literally fruit, I'll put fruit in my salad, I'll put raw corn in my salad, peas. So the things that I'm going to use today for the salad, all of these things have been gotten from the farmer's market here, except the romaine lettuce. I just have some regular romaine for the base, but I'm going to add kale greens. So the kale greens, I chopped them up super small. And reason being is because I have to hide things from my kids to get them to eat it. So my daughter loves salad, but I just started getting her to eat spinach a little bit in her salad, as long as she doesn't taste it. So she doesn't know that she eats every type of green in her salad. She swears she doesn't eat collard greens, all those other things, but my kids eat every green, kale greens, collard greens, and I'll chop it up real small like this, even smaller, and I'll mix it in the rice raw. So then that way it's small enough for them to absorb it, and that way I know that they're getting their nutrients and things like that. Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to, and really, it's really important to get your nutrients, especially for our babies. So important for our kids, because our kids are popping up with more diet-related illnesses than we are. This is one of the first generation where our kids have a shorter life expectancy than us, and a lot of it has to do with the diet. So when my son has a lot of food intolerances, there are a lot of things he can't eat. So like dairy, eggs, and soy. And if you don't know, if you go to the aisle, walk through the baby aisle and just pick up something and turn it around and look at the label, egg, milk, soy is in just about everything. So I couldn't give him that stuff that was there. And I was taking him to the doctor, and he was having, his iron is low. He needs vitamin D. He needs the calcium, things like that. And so what I started doing was blending up, making his baby food, blending up everything together to try to make it, taste good. And who knew getting stuff from the markets, which what I was doing anyway, would be, that's how I started noticing that it was actually tasting better, tasting fresher. He was eating it. And the older they got, even for my daughter, I started mixing up the veggies in their rice, just giving it to them that way, and something that that I knew they would eat. And then, who'd have thought, right? We go to the doctor a couple of more times and their numbers are getting better. I didn't want to give them the vitamins because that's the easy way. And then it turns out with the vitamins, most vitamins don't contain iron, which is something that he really, really needed. So it's like, well, now I got to give him this vitamin and this vitamin, how can I fix that? It's got to be another way. So going to the markets again, guys, it's real, it's important, it's important. A lot of things that happen to us are because of nutrient deficiencies. So we're always on our phone anyway, take a look and see, hey, what vitamins do I even need every day? Why do I need these vitamins? What does this vitamin do? Okay, so I said all that to say it's really important to eat your veggies. So I got the greens in here for the kids, slide that in there. I've also got some beautiful tomatoes. I love tomatoes fresh from the garden, because tomatoes should be a little sweet. All tomatoes are a little sweet. I chopped them up small. Again, I've got 3 here. I've got the green, I've got the red, and a little bit of the yellow. So put those in there. The reason why tomatoes are so firm and so tough at the stores is because they're picked before they're ripe so that they can survive the trip to wherever they're going before they get to the store. Odds are they're not coming from the farm straight to the store. They're coming from the farm to get stored somewhere. They're probably cleaned and stored somewhere else and then travel to store. You see where I'm getting at? So you don't know how long that stuff has been sitting. When it's picked fresh, it should be soft. It should be, should be sweet. It should be right. It's delicious. If you've never had a fresh tomato, well, you guys are going to have it right now. Okay, so some fresh tomatoes so you guys can have a taste of that. Also, cucumbers. I love cucumbers. It is my favorite scent in the whole wide world, a fresh cucumber. And you guys see, like here, you guys want to kind of take a look. It's beating up. You see the little dew, the water that's coming on the outside of it. I mean, well, not the outside, but the inside. Kind of like a weeping fruit. Zucchini does that. Squash does that. If you cut it and then just leave it, and you'll see it start to bead up with the little liquid. I love it. I just love how food looks. I love how it tastes and all that other good stuff. So another thing, okra. Okra, I could not get my kids to touch this, let alone eat it. So because, we all know it's slimy, right? A lot of people don't like okra because it's slimy. I love that because it thickens up like soups. It thickens up broths and food and things like that. And okra is really good. Okra is really, really good. And again, we're doing raw today, and letting you know you don't have to always cook stuff. But to make it more manageable, if you're eating raw, like say a salad, you want to make sure you cut everything up small enough, one, so that your body can absorb it when you chew it up. That's really important. If it's too big, your body it's going through your system before your body has the time to absorb those nutrients. So chopping it all up, small, and making it manageable for you eating. The same thing with the carrot. Some people don't even like the baby carrots. It's too much, too hard, or you just may not have the best teeth for it, or just may not like that crunch. I use I don't have it here. Well, the one I have kind of sucks. But you can take a peeler, and even with the cucumber, you can go down like you're peeling it off, take away the peel, and keep going. Peel that cucumber till the whole cucumber looks like the peel, and it'll be a lot easier for you to eat, chew, break down, absorb in your body, stuff like that. Okay, so that's it for what I'm going to do for the actual salad. Now, the vinaigrette. I love vinaigrettes. Vinaigrettes are so easy to make. So the base of most vinaigrettes is an oil, and I have extra virgin olive oil here.
Okay, oil and vinegar.
Oil and an acid. So that could be, you can use your white wine vinegar, the acid meaning that flavor. You can use, I'm going to use white wine vinegar today. You can use any vinegar. You can use white wine, red wine, balsamic, apple cider, whatever vinegar, you can use that. The oil, you can change the oil and use a little bit of maybe some sunflower oil or avocado oil. I would suggest a lighter oil. Also, without the vinegar, I use a lot of zest, a lot of lemon and lime and citrus in my vinaigrettes. So I might not even use this vinegar. I might use the lemon juice and the lemon zest. Or I might even put orange. Might use the orange and the orange zest. That's really good. So really the basis of the vinaigrette, I'm going to take this on out here. And I'm going to put some oil. Put oil down in there. A whole lot. And for me, a lot of people use 2 to 1 for the vinaigrette. So if you're going to use like a half a cup of oil, then maybe you'll use a 1/4 cup of the vinegar. But I'm going to do 1 to 1. I like mine's 1 to 1. So meaning, a half a cup of the equal parts the oil. And you're not going to do this to me right now. Oh, no.
Right, we're not that.
So equal parts oil and whatever acid you're going to be using. Any questions about anything so far? I know a lot of little facts, and I can talk a lot to kind of fill up the space, but what do you guys want to know? Any questions about anything at all? What's on your mind?
Did you say that in wine?
Huh? No, that's wine, vinegar. There's no alcohol in this. No, it's not that type of party.
Hallelujah.
So that's about... That's after we leave, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's about equal parts right now.
Oh, wow.
I would say I never tried orange.
Orange, yeah, really good, really good. Really good, just different. Okay, so I've got the equal parts, oil and the vinegar. And then I'm going to add an herb. So when you have the oil and vinegar, and then you add some type of aromatic. So I love basil. I love putting basil in my salad dressing. This is oregano. Here, this is not what it actually looks like. I pulled just about all the leaves off of there. If you guys want to touch it, smell it, you know, even pick a leaf off and taste it, I washed it just to see, you know, what it smells like. I wouldn't eat it after everybody touches it though, so no, I'm just saying no.
I made sure I
joking.
didn't touch those leaves.
Grab the bottom, pick you off a leaf. Okay, so I'm gonna put this oregano on in here. Put all that in there. Right? So I put all of that in there, all that oregano in there. Okay, so now just a little bit of some salt and pepper. You guys sure? No questions? I should have probably did this part
You just did a
before.
very good job explaining.
Holy moly. So because this is going to take a long time, you guys should know other questions. No questions, nothing you want to know.
So can I put a plug in while you're doing
Yeah, oh yes, thank you.
So if you guys, when Chef Maria finishes, we're going to be doing a container garden demonstration over here at this table. So if you're interested, any questions you might have about gardening, how to grow this stuff. We actually grow everything you have here in containers on a rooftop in Chicago.
Oh, nice.
So it's possible to grow stuff in small spaces. You got to do something you want to say.
Yes, go ahead, baby. Come on, come on.
Oh, I missed that. That was
Black peppercorn,
black pepper
salt,
corn.
and the fresh thyme.
The fresh oregano.
Oregano. I said thyme to oregano.
So I put it all in here and give it a good shake. Give it a good shake. And what will really help hold this together is honey. Either honey or, which I didn't grab over there, but that's okay. It's still gonna be all right. Honey or Dijon mustard. If you don't want the sweet, you can use a little bit of Dijon mustard. Okay, so just shake it. And then I'm gonna taste it to make sure that it tastes okay. Cause like I said, I know you guys. Oh, there we go. I got more than this. Hold on a minute. Sure, no questions? Man, you guys are amazing. I know you guys have learned so much from me over the
The
years.
pepper was something that you twisted the top.
It's a peppercorn,
Yeah.
so you should grind the fresh peppercorns.
Grind.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just
Does that give it a different texture? Is that the reason for using that versus like a fine?
well, I like it just because it's to me, you get the actual flakes of pepper that you can see as opposed to that powder,
Yeah.
you know, stuff. And sometimes you might over pepper, you know, it might be a little too much. So I'm gonna put a little, because I can't taste it at all. We get that out the way. Make sure that don't hit the food. Nobody wants to eat that, right? Not even me. Okay, it's going, you know, put it here. Yeah.
Vinegar's gonna be so good. Soften it up.
So it's not coming out. Usually I have one where I can change the size of the, you know, the flakes that come out.
This profile.
All right, that's enough. Shake up some more. And really, the star again of this, outside of the vinaigrette, is the salad. So I want you guys. I'm sorry, what'd you say? Huh?
It's leaking.
Oh yes, it is. All right, there we go. So let me. So did you do 1-to-1? I did 1-to-1. 1-to-1. You can do if it's too acidic, you can do just a little bit more salt, not a whole lot. If it's too acidic, you can use 2-to-1. You know, a lot of people use 2-to-1. Standard, they usually use 1-to-1. I'm sorry, 2-to-1. And it's not as much salt as you think, guys. Believe me, the salt is not coming out a whole lot either.
Now, is that sea salt or something?
So this is sea salt. Sea salt. I love using sea salt, especially Himalayan sea salt. You guys remember why Himalayan salt is pink? Take a wild guess.
It's a player from the Himalaya.
Iron, yeah, I know somebody was thinking it. I know you guys were thinking it. So yes, iron. Iron is the reason why
Sea salt has iron.
Himalayan pink salt has iron in it. Sea salt itself, I don't think. If it is, it's probably negligible. But we can definitely look it up. to see. So I'm just gonna go ahead and this is done. Start cleaning it out for you guys. So again, with this, you can use okay, so I use romaine lettuce. You know, lettuce does have a lot of water, you know, but not a whole lot of nutrients. The nutrient greens are the ones that are the green dense. So the more green that they are, the more nutrient dense that they are. So because there's not a lot of nutrients in just lettuce, I like to add other things to it. So these are the things to get the crunchy, especially if let's say you're cutting out carbs, you know, you may not want to do croutons, but you may miss that crunch. You can use like the okra or the cucumbers, or even let's say you don't want to do gluten, but you still okay with the corn. You can do corn tortillas. You know, maybe you can bake them until they get hard, or you can, you know, fry them in just a little bit of oil. Just really light, you know, it doesn't take that long for them to get crunchy. Yeah. Anything else? Bless you. You can use spinach. You can use whatever type of well, yeah, you can use spinach. You can use all spinach. I like all spinach.
For the romaine without the nutrients, it's just people like that better for the taste.
People like it. It's cheaper. And it doesn't have that flavor that puts a lot of people off like greens. You know, so I wouldn't eat this salad with just kale greens, you know, all kale, you know, because it may be a little, you know, that bitterness, you know, everybody might not like that. Some people might, you know. So, but yeah, so I'm putting this on here. And again, also colors. I love colors. I love colorful food. I like to put at least 3 colors on my plate just because. Yeah, I know it's random. I think somebody in culinary school told me that before, one of my instructors. So this, again, very basic. Now you can take just about any veggie, again, break it down to make it a little bit more manageable for you guys. No questions at all about anything, nothing?
Where did you go to culinary?
I went to Le Cordon Bleu, and I actually, before I went to Le Cordon Bleu, I worked for the company that owned Le Cordon Bleu, and I used to work in admissions, so helping to enroll students in different culinary programs. And I got fired from that job, and so the day I got fired, my boss is like, "Hey Maria, isn't there something else you'd rather be doing?" And so I was like, "Well, gee, boss, you just fired me, so let me think about it," you know. And I had always wanted to go to culinary school, thought about it, because my sister went. She's actually younger than me, but she went. So it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna miss some stuff. I'll go ahead, you know, I'll go, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And going to culinary school really made me see that there were so many other things that I could do outside of just owning a restaurant. I got a chance to work with a lot of different places, a lot of different people. And then after that, I went and did my externship at Maggiano's, Little Italy on Park and Grand, and I love that place. It is one of the best places I have ever worked.
Yeah,
but working there also showed me that after a while, you know, I kind of like, I follow the rules, but then I like to add and amend certain things, you know, and do other stuff. And then it's like, well, hey, we're only paying you to do what we're paying you to do, you know. And so creative differences, really just me wanting to be able to be my own boss. And so I left and I had my son, and I really worked with other entrepreneur chefs that I knew, and met them through word of mouth, and then realized like, hey, wow, there's catering, there's personal chefing, there's all these other things. And actually, I came across doing this by accident. So the first day that I was supposed to come and do a demo, the 2 other chefs that were gonna come with me, life happened to them and they were unable to make it the morning of. So me, super terrified, afraid, I came on out, fine, I'll do it by myself. And from the moment I opened my mouth, I felt like, oh my God, wow, I really like doing this. Wow, you know, people want to know about this. People care about learning about healthy, you know, and learning just about how to make stuff a little bit more simple. If you guys can avoid it, please don't kill the bee. He's not going to bother you if you don't bother him.
What would you say your opportunities were besides working the restaurant, catering, and what?
Oh, catering. So being a personal chef, you can be a food. Personal chef. So going out to people's homes and cooking. I did that for a little bit. There's also you can do catering if you want. Me myself, I tried catering a little bit, but it just seemed like every time I did a catering, it never worked out for me. So there was always something that went wrong. Either I had problems with somebody paying me like they were supposed to, or the food just didn't come out right. I'm like, I know I missed something. Food just didn't come out right. You know, it was always something. So I'm in the, you know, trying to catch everything, keep everything from rolling away. All right, so if you guys want to grab one, and eat carefully. I kind of fill these up a little bit. I don't want you to lose most of your sucky pieces before you get a chance to taste it. So again, really, really, really easy, really simple. Oh, there you go. Okay, I was gonna go and grab one. If you're missing anything, you want something else extra in there. And again, I love putting honey. I didn't grab it, but now you can see you really don't need it. Did I make enough for everybody on the first round? I'll put it out. There you go, yeah. There. Right there you go. All right, did everybody get one? No? Oh, that's all right, I'm making right now. Let me get it going right here.